Hello folks, this is Sullla speaking. You're listening to another commentary video for League of Legends, this one featuring Malphite. This is a game that was sent to me by DevelopedX. He sent it to me and said that this was a really good game, really exciting game with a lot of back and forth. I have not actually watched this video yet, but I am going to go on that reputation and hopefully we'll get a good one here. So it looks like this is a pre-made team of 5. I believe that this is normal. I'm not sure if it's normal or ranked. I'm going to guess that it's normal. So DevelopedX is going to be playing Malphite. Seirun's going to be playing Gangplank. Cole is going to be playing Taric. Plasma Puffball is playing Misfortune. And then Eliolar is playing Anivia. I'm afraid I don't know the Anivia player, Eliolar. I don't know if this is part of a pre-made group or if this was someone that was picked up randomly in matchmaking. So I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to assume that this is part of a pre-made group. But I guess that we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I can find out. Maybe Develop can post in the comments afterwards somewhere below this video exactly what it was. But I didn't get that in the video description, and I have not seen Eliolar before online. Okay, anyway, so as far as this group setup, it looks like we have Anivia. It is going to be the AP carry for this team. It looks like Malphite is probably going to be the tank. And then I believe that they said that they ran a Misfortune Taric bottom lane, so AD carry plus support, attack damage carry plus support down there. You can see Cull is saying, I sit bottom lane. I don't know why Cull is sitting over here instead of going with the rest of the team. I guess that's what they were conversing about. The enemy team does have a Clairvoyance, and you can see they used it there. You get invaded, I blame jungle. Yeah, you can see Eliolar saying they do have Clairvoyance, so enemy team does know that they have it. For whatever reason, everybody is spamming the joke taunt stuff right now, so if you hear that in the background, that's what's going on. Anyway, in terms of this matchup, Misfortune Taric is a strong lane. The enemy team seems like they have a bit more of a sustained team comp, that is, a group that's going to stay out in lane. Notice that Trundle is jungling, and Warwick is apparently going to be laning, so this is going to be a laning Warwick. Which is something that you can definitely run. It's very popular in Europe. It's not so popular in North America, but it is something that I saw people playing in DreamHack. Renekton has a lot of lifesteal. Warwick has a lot of lifesteal. Sona to heal. So they do have a lot of sustain with this team comp here. And then, look at this. Plasma Puffball getting grabbed by the entire enemy team. And once again, guys, that's why you watch the jungle entrances. So not a good start for this team at all. Don't want to let people get caught. And the other thing is, if you're going to walk down from top, from blue down to bottom lane, it's better to walk the safe path, which is this path down here. It's a much safer way to run. Prime spots for jumping someone include this brush right here. This brush right here is another popular place where people can sit and try to get kills. So if you have Clairvoyance, you may want to check them. If you don't have vision, it's much safer not to walk this way. If at all possible, you can try to do a safer jungle route. But anyway, that's water under the bridge now. A nice trap set by the enemy team. So it looks like what Develop's team is doing is running solo Malphite up here in top lane. That's a bit unusual. Malphite was very popular a number of months ago, but he's been nerfed pretty heavily since then, and you don't see Malphite much anymore. Develop's starting with a cloth armor and 5 health pots. So he's up against a lane wick right here in top. Try to keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, in mid, we have Eliolar's Anivia against a Orianna player here, Samuel. Don't know who this is, and unfortunately, again, replay client, no health bars, so try to keep the focus mostly up top where they're not messed up. Down here, Plasma Puffball and Cole playing together. Misfortune Taric, very strong lane. Taric can stun, and then Misfortune can do all her damage. Taric can also heal, so there's the carry plus support. And it looks like it's Sona and Renekton, I guess, down here in the bottom lane. So that's a bit of a strange lane as well. Meanwhile, Seirun is jungling with Gangplank, which is a little bit strange. This is, it's not something you see very often, but you can do it, particularly since Gangplank was just buffed in the most recent patch. I believe that this is before those buffs came in to Gangplank. I'm pretty sure that that's before they were added. But St. Vicious did play a jungle Gangplank in the DreamHack in the 5th place match. It was a bit of a troll build that he was doing there. I think it wasn't intended to be particularly serious, but he did show that it can be done and can be done effectively. So yes, St. Vicious has done it, has pulled it off in a high-level match. So it's not completely terrible. You can do it, but needless to say, there probably are better junglers than Gangplank. But who knows? Maybe with the new buffs to Gangplank, we'll be seeing this much more often. Maybe it's something that we'll start seeing. But in any case, so we have a jungle Gangplank on one side and then a jungle Trundle on the other side. So more traditional jungler there. Anyway, up here in top lane, you can see it looks like both sides just farming, not really doing too much harassing so far between the two sides. Again, Malphite was highly prized in this game for a long time due to his passive. You can see his Granite Shield, it absorbs damage. If he doesn't take damage for 10 seconds, he summons a Shield of Rock that absorbs damage equal to 10% of his maximum health. It used to be 8 seconds, then the duration for the passive was increased to 12, and that was a little bit too much, so now it's back down to 10 again. So the shield has gone up and down, but Malphite was one of those characters who for a long time was just almost impossible to harass due to his passive. He would just sit up in top lane and harass forever, but not as strong anymore. It is nice that with the shield bars, you can see when his passive is up or not. Anyway, in terms of his other skills, Malphite is basically a tank. You build him tanky. You don't really want to build him damage because his skills don't really scale off of damage, and he does have okay AP ratios, but you wouldn't really want to build an AP Malphite. It's just kind of silly. In terms of his skills, I'll just run through them here while we're here in the laning phase. You can see Seismic Shard, his Q skill. This is the one that used to get highest skilling priority. I don't know if it still is. This is the one where he tosses out a shard, it deals damage and slows to a single target. It doesn't look like Developed's putting too many points in this. This used to be like the skill on Malphite, but it looks like he's not using it. Anyway, then his W skill, Brutal Strikes, it gives him a passive that means that his basic attacks do a little bit of splash damage, and then the active means that he gets extra armor and attack damage. So this is usually the one that people skill last on Malphite. It's not considered to be all that great. His E skill is his Ground Slam. You can see he slams the ground around him, deals magic damage to surrounding enemies, reduces attack speed, And you can see it also scales off of armor. So again, another reason why you build him tanky. One of his skills actually scales off of armor, so a little bit like Gramus. And then finally his ultimate, Unstoppable Force. Malphite charges towards the target area, deals 200 magic damage, and knocks enemies up into the air for 1.5 seconds. It's basically the main reason why you'd want to play Malphite. It's one of the best initiating tools in the game. Oh, anyway, up here looks like you got a Trundle gank coming in. Warwick ultimate into a Trundle gank. There's the pillar. Developed is going to try to use his ultimate to get out of it, but it's not going to work. And that ended up being a nice, successful gank. Warwick hitting 6 right when Trundle came in, so that was very nice timing between their two groups. And so that was a nice kill coming in on their side. Cole saying GG. Yeah, well, at this point, they are pretty far behind. So that was nicely executed. That pillar that Trundle put down was in a very nice position. It sort of blocked the Malphite Unstoppable Force. You never want to use your ultimate just to run away. Yeah, you can see the pillar and Anivia Wall both cause all kinds of weird pathfinding issues in this game. So looks like that was an issue there, but nicely placed. Seirun doing his best to farm up this lane, but obviously not too good that they were able to get, the other team was able to get that kill in top lane. All right, anyway, excuse me. It was actually your creeps that screwed you over. Okay, that's pretty funny. Alright, anyway, let's see. Developed has picked up No Magic Mantle. That's actually a good buy for a lane that has Warwick in it, because Warwick, all of his harass is going to be magic damage off of his Hungering Strike, his Q. Anyway, there's the Seismic Shard that's going to slow him down. There's the Ground Slam. They're actually doing a lot of damage to Warwick here. Warwick's going to flash. Is this going to be enough to let him get away? Maybe if they use that Ignite, they'll be able to finish him off here. And let's see, there's the Ignite, and yes, they are going to score that kill. So nicely done. Warwick, I believe, did not have boots, and no, he just had the Doran's Ring, so was not able to get away. Meanwhile, there was a kill in bottom lane. Plasma Puffball and Cole scoring a kill on that Renekton player on Zalin, so they're able to help even this up a little bit, get it back to 2-2 in the overall kill score, so nicely done. One thing I will point out is if you watch the minimap, every time that Developed is clicking to move, there's this weird indicator on the minimap. See how these lines keep getting drawn back to the Nexus? That's a bug in the replay client. Again, I can't control that. This is something that used to be in the replay client, then they fixed it, and it looks like the newest patch has reintroduced that same bug again, so hopefully that'll get fixed. Anyway, another gank coming in here from the Trundle player. You can see getting in the slow, he does have red buff, so each attack slows, but I don't think Developed is in any real danger there. And now Seirun and Eliolor look like they're coming up top to try to gank this Trundle player, so we'll have to see if this is successful. Again, haven't seen this game. I don't know exactly what goes on in this game either. So, oh, Warwick, they just have managed to find Warwick. If they can get off a nice wall there from Anivia. Oh, Trundle taking a lot of damage. There's the Gangplank ultimate. Seirun is taking a lot of damage too. And there's the nice initiation coming in from Develop, getting that knock up in the air. Warwick taking a lot of damage here. Can they finish him off? Yes, going to get that kill. But now Seirun is super low. Orianna coming in here. Seirun, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it out of this. Maybe if he just ported back from those bushes right there. Orianna getting chased away by Anivia and Malphite. So looks like they're going to make it out of this just okay. So yeah, real scary. Meanwhile, though, unfortunately, Cole taken down in bottom lane, a little slow on that, so did not go nearly so well. But anyway, they were able to score 2 kills in top lane, trade it for a kill in bottom lane, and looks like called to burn his flash too. Alright, I'm going to try to stop for a second and look at the overall, look a little bit at the items, the minion kills here. Let's see, make sure that Develop makes it back here safely to his tower. Yep, looks like he's okay. So let's see, Anivia, 49 minion kills, Orianna 37. So Anivia ahead in mid overall. Anivia has tier and most of a catalyst as well. Orianna does have sorcerer shoes though, so going to do a lot of damage with that magic penetration. In top lane, let's see, Developed is 1-1-2. You can see he has the boots, he has the null magic mantle, and up against that Warwick, he's a little behind Warwick in terms of minion kills, but Warwick is ahead of him in farm, so pretty even overall. More or less, not 100% sure how that works out, but relatively even. Looks like they've done a laning swap here. They're sending Orianna top. They've sent Warwick over to middle lane. It's a little bit interesting. Warwick does have Magic Razor. Anyway, a dive at tower. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Diving in at tower. Pillar to block any chance to get out. And then Develop getting taken down. Looks like Develop should have just given up that lane maybe, because now they're going to score the kill and probably the tower. Looks like he probably needed to get out of there a little bit sooner, but that is a tough call to make. Anyway, now Sarun going to come in and help chase him away. And wow, that Orianna ball is doing a lot of damage. Sorry, I don't know the name of the skills. Haven't played because I haven't played Orianna. Oh, and Warwick getting a kill in middle lane on Elior. Wow, I'm a little surprised. Wonder how that happened. It seemed like Nivea was pretty strong, and Warwick wasn't nearly so good. But in any case, Warwick probably was able to use his ultimate there and able to secure that kill. Anyway, so right now, let's see, what did Develop buy? He picked up Merc Treads and a Null Magic Mantle. Again, seems like a good buy just because the enemy team is so heavy on magic damage. They're 2 solos, Orianna and Anivia, both doing magic damage, so it's a good reason why. Oh, LLR saying purple caster minion OP. Maybe he was killed by the minions there as he was trying to get away. Not 100% sure. Alright, wards going down here. Just try to take a quick look at bottom lane right here. This fight going on back and forth between Plasma, Puffball, and Cole. Let's see, Plasma has 67 minion kills, so he's doing a nice job of farming. And their bottom lane much lower in farm, 34-20. So they are doing well in terms of farming that bottom lane. The ability to farm that bottom lane and get a very strong Misfortune will be pretty key to later on. So that's something that Developed team's going to have to try to work on. Anyway, Anivia picking up blue. Anivia definitely much stronger with blue buff. There was some talk in the DreamHack, if you watch those matches, about how there are some AP casters who are very reliant on blue, some who aren't particularly reliant on blue. Well, Anivia definitely one who is pretty reliant on blue buff, so definitely you want to get that on her as much as possible whenever you can. Anyway, let's see, just trying to keep a look on what's going on. They do have a ward at Dragon. Sona coming down here. Looks like they're going to try to gank this Sona, maybe. Let's see if Cole can get off a stun. I guess not. Or Anivia looks like LLR wants to come down here and maybe try to go after this Sona. Or maybe not. I just see him walking around over on the river. Meanwhile, Developed still just farming up in this top lane. His passive does help, definitely, in terms of helping defend him from harassment. You can see he gets an extra, let's see, 120 health whenever his passive's up. Anyway, Anivia Warwick going back and forth here in middle lane. But doesn't look like that's turning into any real confrontation. Another fight going on down here in bottom. But again, not 100% sure how much health people actually have. Oh, there's the stun coming in on the Anivia player, or on the Sona player. But exhaust coming in on Misfortune instead. And here comes Trundle, so that could be trouble. They need to back off, need to get out of here. Let's see if that pillar comes down. There's the corruption or contamination. And there you go, focusing on Cole. Going to use the exhaust on Trundle, and there's the gangplank. Cole is going to go down here, but now more people coming into the fight. Again, wish we could see how much health people have. Sarun going to get the kill on Renekton there. There we go, now we can finally see, but it looks like this is not really working out. Enemy team, well, it's going to go 1-for-1, but enemy team looks like they're coming out a little bit ahead there overall. Meanwhile, in top lane, there's another fight. There is a flash for a flash. Develop's going to use his ult, but it's not going to be enough. Not going to be able to get out of that. So it looks like Orianna was just able to straight win a 1v1 up there in top lane. I did see the Orianna ult coming in. Looked like an Ignite was used there. So Orianna looks like the Orianna player came out on top. And let's see, in terms of the stats, Orianna is 201. Looks like that magic penetration on the boots helped out a lot. And Developed is starting to fall a little bit behind at this point. Starting to fall a little bit behind to the point where it's going to be difficult for him to lane against these other characters. Yeah, Orianna is indeed very irritating in lane. One of the problems, I think, is that even though Developed is quite tanky, he really doesn't do any damage right now. I mean, yes, he has the 108 magic resist, but he doesn't do any damage, so in a sustained fight, he is going to lose ultimately. Anyway, Malphite just not seen as a particularly strong solo right now, so it's a bit of a strange choice to just pick him overall for this game, but maybe Developed just wanted to play a different character for this game. But it's generally considered that there are other stronger options right now if you want sort of a tanky champion to be in a solo lane. Anyway, Cole taking a little more harassment down there in bottom lane. Looks like he's okay. Still no one has gone for this dragon yet. 14 minutes in, no one's gone for the dragon. Looks like they're still swapping lanes back and forth. Gonna ping, looks like, yeah, gonna ping to let Elialar know that Warwick was coming up to top lane. And there comes Trundle and Warwick, as you'd expect. So Developed still going to stay here in this lane. There's the Seismic Shard for a little harass, but yeah, it just doesn't do much damage. You can see even with 3 points in it, it really doesn't do very much damage. Its skill used to be a lot stronger than it is now. And oh, over here, Anivia in trouble getting caught by these two. Needs a wall right there. There's the Gangplank ult to slow them. Oh, and there's Warwick flashing after Elialar. He's going to come and use his ult. There's Anivia, been egged in her egg form. Warwick taking a lot of damage, but looks like he's going to be okay. And Elialar going to get bursted down. Meanwhile, Ignite has come in on Warwick. Serum going to flash over the wall, so that did not work out particularly well. Not able to get Anivia out of there. And unfortunately, Anivia's egg form passive is going to be down now for the next 5 minutes, so that's a bit of a downer. And they're really starting to fall a little bit behind in kills at this point. Going to need to start to do something to turn around this game. Or losing to pathing being super awesome. Yeah, sometimes the pathing is really weird in this particular game. Anyway, right there, I think that Developed said his ultimate wasn't up. That would have been a good time to use it just to clear people out there and make that escape. But you'd prefer to use the Unstoppable Force ult offensively, not defensively. If you're having to use it defensively, then that's generally not a good sign overall. And people keep saying GG over and over again. Yeah, it's not looking too good at this point in time, but again, again, you have to stick out these games. Remember, still hasn't been a single tower or dragon taken anywhere on the map, and as long as your towers are still up and you're not being out farmed too badly, in terms of farm, they're actually doing quite good. You can see Plasma Puffball and Elialar are farming better than anyone on the enemy team, so that's a very positive sign, but that kill score not as good. Anyway, gank going on here in top lane, and going after this Warwick. There's the stun. Now they just need one more hit, and Elialar is going to finish him off, so nicely done there. Looks like there's pinging, indicating that more people are coming top, but that was well done. A nice kill there. Hitting on the Flash Frost to get the stun on Warwick, and then finishing it off with that Frostbite. And I'm sorry I missed some of the stuff in the chat there, but you guys can read it every time it comes across. Anyway, blue is back up again. Looks like they want to get it for Anivia. Develop tossing a ward. That's always a nice place for a ward. I love this spot for a ward. On the other side of the map, it's right here. It just gives you a lot of vision on people coming out of the enemy team's jungle. It covers most of the paths in. You can see this path, over here, and over here. Just a nice place to have a ward. If you have a ward right here, and then another one in this brush here, you can see pretty much all the entrances and exits out of the northern half of the jungle. So again, a place that's nice to have ward coverage. Anyway, Malady on Orianna. Wow, that is an interesting item. I don't know why you would build Malady on Orianna. I don't know. I guess I've never seen that before. Maybe if you're doing some sort of a attack power, AD AP hybrid build, I guess. I mean, it does give you some ability power and attack speed, so it's kind of a weird item. Anyway, in here, you can see right there, looked like Develop was trying to come in to interrupt this dragon, but I don't think that was successful. At this point, probably just needs to get out. They tried for the steal with the Misfortune ultimate. I don't believe they got it. Anyway, Cole going back in for some reason. Maybe that was more of the pathfinding stuff with that Trundle pillar. Anyway, Cole is in a lot of trouble. Nice Sona ult right there, and that's going to secure the kill. So Cole just turning around that little bit, may have been another pathfinding issue, was responsible for getting the kill. Now they're trying to counter gank this. You can see Serum did use the Cannon Barrage, got in some nice damage, nice harass. Oh, oops, up in top lane. Warwick getting a kill one-on-one against Anivia. Can't see that. Gonna focus on the main fight over here. So it looks like we have a 4-on-3 push at this tower right here. And looks like this is just going to turn into a stalemate here. But overall, that last trade, these trades not working out in favor of the enemy team, favor of Develop's team. Looks like they went 0 for 2 there, I think. Yeah, Elialar and Cole both getting killed. Cole, unfortunately, has not had a great game so far. 0-3 in the first 18 minutes. Not so great, but he does have some of those Gold 5 items. And that was not a good brush to face check, Seirun. In a lot of trouble here. The pillar was well placed, but it looks like they were able to escape, albeit at the cost of a lot of damage there. Yeah, that probably should have known that they were over there. in the brush. Not the best decision there. Anyway, if the enemy team tries to dive this, it's probably not going to go well. I don't know what Cole is doing. He's very far in front of the team right here. Very dangerous position right there. Nice Malphite ult, though, knocking everybody out. Taking down Sona first would be a nice target to go after. You can see Sona has been ignited. Let's see, are they going to be able to finish off Sona? And yes, they are going to get the kill there. Meanwhile, over here, Sirun very, very low. They're going to polish off that kill. Now it looks like they have Trundle and what's his name? Can't think of the name here in the middle of the fight. Develop going to get taken down. Now Cole coming in for a lot of harass. Plasma probably can save this, but Cole again going out very aggressively here. And it looks like Renekton is going to back out. So another unsuccessful fight. I think that was a 1 for 2. Yep, 1 for 2. Meanwhile, while that was going on, Warwick did take down top lane. This has been a straight 1v1 there. Got caught by a Flash Frost there, but Warwick, again, has Madrid's Razor, has the Mercury Treads, and it looks like he's building Spirit Visage next. Again, this is very standard for a Lanewick. You build ability power, magic resist, and then survivability. And that's generally what you want to do. So that laning Warwick has been pretty effective that far. I mean, 2-3 overall, so not as great there. But he does have a lot of minion kills. He's building pretty tanky. That's what their team's going to need. They don't have any true tank, but they have a lot of sort of bruiser champions, like Renekton, Warwick, Trundle. All sort of tanky DPS type champions. So has done a reasonably good job. This game, not going too well at present. The enemy team did take that first dragon. I believe they took it. Didn't see 100% for sure, but I think that they got it in that exchange. You can see they are ahead in kills, 12-7. That's a pretty substantial lead in kills. Not something you can't come back from, but it is a substantial lead in kills. And they also have 1 tower down, while Develop's team doesn't have any towers down. So this game isn't out of control yet, but they're going to have to start doing stuff to change it around soon before it gets too much further out of reach, because that snowball is starting to roll, and it's heading down in favor of the enemy team side. All right, let's see, in terms of what Develop build, let's see, Giant Belt. Giant Belt scales off of that Granite Shield passive, so a nice item to get early on Malphite. Still stacking magic resist, a lot more magic resist than armor, which is indeed what they should have. Oh, Warwick, did you see that? Warwick over here behind Anivia, so Elialar is in a lot of trouble right now. He's caught behind the rest of the team, and this is not going to go well. Maybe if he can get a flash over the wall. Yes, there we go. Nicely done. That was a very nice escape. There's the wall, going to block off Orianna and Trundle. Warwick, though, is still behind. And did that Flash Frost manage to hit Warwick? Don't know for sure. There's the Clairvoyance coming in, giving sight. Now Developed is the one in trouble here. But that was a very nice escape from Elialar from what looked like was going to be sure death. There's the Warwick ult, though. Going to get interrupted right there by the Malphite ult. Nice job. Gangplank ult, Cannon Barrage coming down. Sona ult pretty much whiffed there, so not a good Sona ult. And it looks like they're going to make it out of this okay with no further problems. So very nicely done. And while that was going on, Plasma and Cole did take down bottom lane. So very nicely done there. Warwick taking some damage, but he does have a lot of magic resist as well. Now they're going in playing very aggressively. Elialar, don't think he should have played quite so aggressively, out beyond safety of his tower, and that was, after all that nice play up in top lane, that was not nearly so well done. Coming out away from the safety of the tower, taking a lot of damage. Develop has been ignited here, going to get taken down. Wow, a lot of bursts there from Orianna. More burst than you'd expect. Trundle now has come out too aggressively and going to get taken down by the tower, and a combination of Plasma Puffball's ult. Cole dying as well. I feel like Cole probably could have gotten out of that, but it didn't work. Plasma chasing very aggressively now, taking a lot of damage here. And looks like they came out on the losing end of that fight as well. Again, very unfortunate. It went really well. They avoided dying in middle lane, took down the tower in bottom, and if they had just backed off there, it would have been great. But continued fighting, continued playing aggressively, and their Plasma's going to pick up another kill there. So they're going to turn it into a 2 for 3 instead of a 1 for 3. So that's better. But still, overall, not the best fight there in middle lane. The best thing I can say about the game right now is Elialar 152 minion kills, Plasma Football 133. So you can see their two carries, the ranged AD carry and the ranged AP carry, do have a lot of farm. So that's a very good sign. But otherwise, not looking so good at the moment. You can see Sirun has also got quite farmed as well. Sirun's ahead of their jungler. But the champion kills are a pretty significant difference. The tower kills 1-1 still right now, so that's looking okay. That next dragon will be up relatively soon. I think in about another minute, dragon will be back up. So there, you can see already dropped a ward. Didn't see you place that down, but there it is. There comes the dragon. So whenever you're playing this game, you want to have that clock running in your head. Want to know when these neutral buffs are going to respawn. Now they were spotted by this clairvoyance, Cole, Developed, and Plasma. So this is not a safe place to be. They really should not try this dragon. Enemy team knows they're at this dragon, so this is not particularly safe. And Nivea is not here, so if the enemy team comes as 5, they're going to lose it in this dragon fight. So I really don't endorse this. Seirun also not there. Let's see, but they are going to get that dragon, I think. And now, oh, Developed going to use his ult to get over the wall, so that was quite clever. Pretty sure they got that dragon. Yeah, I believe they did get that one. So they did get it, burned a flash and a Malphite ult in order to get out of that. So that actually did work surprisingly well. I'm surprised it worked that well. And Nivea, nice wall there, walling off Warwick from the rest of the team. Now really just need to get out of here. 4 members of the enemy team here. Cole, Seirun walking over. Not sure if this is the best path to take, guys. The whole enemy team is right over here in this jungle. And remember, Sona does have that Oracle, so she can clear wards. A nice purchase on that Sona, by the way. Anyway, Trundle, oh, almost got that Trundle with the wall. If Trundle had been trapped on the other side of the wall, he would have had to flash or else probably would have been taken down. Anyway, there's the stun coming in on Warwick, but Warwick is very tanky. He's not really the one they want to focus right here. Anyway, they probably can get Warwick, but oh, great Sona ult right into the middle of the team. Seirun is going down. Cannon Barrage in a good spot, but this fight is still not going well. You can see how much damage Developed is taken. Is he going to manage to get out of here? Yes, still alive right now, but there goes LELR, taking a lot of damage. Now it looks like Cole is going to get bursted down. Developed is still quite low. And this fight, again, not going well here. You can see Developed getting focused by that Renekton player, but too aggressive, way too aggressive. So they're going to score 1 kill there. Warwick, though, I think is going to make it out of that. So, wow, 2 for 4, not a good trade there. And I think that the key to that fight was Sona getting off a really nice ult in the middle of it. And now Plasma Puffball's in a world of trouble here as well. Was chasing that Warwick as he ran away. Is his strut passive going to be able to get out of this? There's a nice Misfortune ultimate. Is he going to be able to finish off Sona? Yes! Very well done. Plasma Puffball playing very, very nicely done. Don't know if he's going to be able to escape from Orianna here, though. So let's see. There's the Make It Rain for the slow on Orianna. So again, really nicely done. Just a brilliant play by Plasma Puffball. And there's Seirun going to give him the extra movement speed. So going to make it out of there and get a kill on Sona, removing that Oracle from Sona. So a very key play there. Now Sona's going to have to spend another 400 gold if she wants another Oracle. Anyway, good exchange there, so I guess they were able to turn that into 3 for 4 with Plasma getting out. If Plasma had died there, that would have been a total disaster, but with his ability to escape, it turned out to be just a bad fight as opposed to sort of a catastrophically bad one. So managed to salvage that somewhat. Anyway, Developed not having the greatest game in the world right now. Your tank usually doesn't have a particularly good KDA, kills, death, and assist, but still 265, not really where you want to be at this stage of the game. He is building a Force of Nature, which makes sense given that this team that they're up against is mostly magic damage. So that makes sense and it's looking pretty good. But overall, the main hope for their team right now is Plasma Puffball, 611 with 145 minion kills, has Infinity Edge Berserker Greaves. Looks like he's building Phantom Dancer as his next item. Nearly has the Phantom Dancer. So he's going to be really strong. Also has a ton of farm. The rest of the team not looking nearly so good. Cole has kind of struggled. Developed has kind of struggled. Anyway, there's the Malphite ult initiating, knocking in. Sona, though, with a beautiful ult, and Orianna getting off a nice ult as well. So let's see, a lot of damage going back and forth. They need to keep Plasma Puffball alive. He's doing the most damage of anyone on their team. They really should probably just disengage this right now because everyone is very, very low, and Sona's going to heal up the people on the other side. So they did get the kill here. Oh, and looks like Anivia is diving very deep into the enemy team up here, trying to get a kill on Trundle. So they were able to get the kill, but now everybody's so low, it's going to be tough to save this tower. It looks like Sona and Renekton might just be able to dive at this tower. Cole needs to get off some heals. Anyway, while that was going on, Warwick solo pushing bottom, did take down that bottom lane tower. Really couldn't send anyone to go to stop that because they took so much damage in the fight mid. So even though Developed's team was able to score that kill in mid, I think you'd have to say that the overall play kind of went against them because they took so much damage that they weren't able to send anybody bottom to protect this tower. So trading a kill for a tower, usually not worth it. And in the end, that aggressive play in mid kind of didn't work out that well. I mean, I guess you could say it worked out okay, but probably not what they wanted in the end overall. Anyway, Develop has picked up Force of Nature, so you can see that's going to give him the 76 magic resist, a lot of health regen, and also the bonus movement speed. Anyway, it looks like everybody's more or less hanging out mid. Baron is going to be a target. That's probably going to be the next big target that I'd expect everybody to fight over, because we're at the 28-minute mark. Anivia wants to go grab blue before they fight. So yeah, 5 members of the enemy team mid, 4 members of them here. This is actually kind of dangerous if Warwick initiates, or Sona can get an ult, or Orianna can throw somebody back into the team. Could be a very dangerous position without Anivia here. So yeah, I would definitely say get back to the tower and wait for Anivia to show up. So anyway, right now, this is all going to depend on just how this fight is initiated. There's a Misfortune ult into the middle of the team. Pretty good. Oh, nice wall blocking off Warwick. Can they get off an initiation on Warwick and burst him down here? There's a nice Malphite ult, countered though by the Sona ult, so kind of going back and forth. Warwick initiating on Misfortune, and there's just so much damage going back and forth here. There goes Developed, but Plasma Puffball was able to score a kill. Now 2 kills on the enemy team. Plasma very, very low right now. They need to keep Misfortune alive. There's a brilliant Anivia wall. Gonna pick off another kill on Warwick, and that is a 3-for-1 in the favor of Plasma Puffball and Developed's team. So nicely done there. Definitely came out ahead in that encounter. I don't know if they want to push this tower, though. With Sona heals and that burst from Orianna, going to be a little tough to push over this tower. But maybe, yeah, look how low everybody's getting. This does not look safe at all. Anyway, oh, are they going to be able to finish off Orianna? Is that an Ignite coming in there? And no, looks like Orianna is okay. LELR super, super low, so they really do need to back this. Don't want to give up any kills for free to the enemy team here. You can see Sarun trying to protect them, just trying to wall them away. And yeah, looks like Cole and Plasma are going to be able to make it out of there. So not able to push that tower. We're too beat up to go do Baron. So even though they definitely won that fight, and that's going to help, they weren't able to turn it into any larger sort of global objectives out of it. No, not able to get Baron or anything. Anyway, Dragon is back up. Sarun coming over, and look at this. Look at the Clairvoyance right there. That Clairvoyance means it's not safe to do this. Sarun did have the pink ward, so you can see they don't have any vision there. But with that Clairvoyance, they just can't do the Dragon. It's not safe for him to go and try to solo it. So nicely done by Sona. I do think this other team has played pretty well. They haven't made a lot of stupid moves or anything. But anyway, right there, Renekton getting caught by a Taric stun, and nice harass. There's the Trundle Pillar, going to block him off. So has been a nicely contested game. About the main thing I'd say about that other team is they haven't farmed that well. Anyway, initiating on LELR, and that's a lot of trouble. I think he's been egged right now and is in his passive. Yeah, there it is, in his passive right there. A little bit of lag, and yeah, LELR going down immediately. That's very bad. And now Cole going down as well. This is a terrible fight. They need to get out of here as soon as possible. Develop is going to flash. Oh, he's going to try to use his ult to get away, but I don't think that's going to work. And enemy team chasing, pursuing, and he is not going to make it out of there. So that was just an initiation gone horribly wrong. Warwick got off a beautiful ultimate. Warwick ulted on the Anivia player LELR, initiated on Anivia, and then they were just able to turn that into a very strong fight. Anyway, that's a nice ultimate by Plasma. You might not think so, but he hits most of the team with his ultimate and kills the creep wave, so they're going to take a lot of tower damage here. But Warwick's still chasing with his Blood Scent, going to get that kill there, and now going after Sarun. Don't think he's going to survive this, so there is an ace for the enemy team. And although they are taking a lot of damage from these towers, again, these towers are not down. They're getting shot at by towers the whole time. So they do have Sona on their team. Sona's going to be able to heal up, and they're going to be able to sustain. Remember, I said they're kind of a sustained team. They have a lot of lifesteal between Trundle, between Renekton's, Cole the Meek, between Warwick's, his Hungering Strike. So they do have a lot of sustain. This is the more conservative play, going for Dragon. They should be able to get this Dragon uncontested. They could have made a play for Baron there. It's a more risky play, higher risk, higher reward factor. I probably would have said to go for Baron there, just because they were close to Baron, and they did have Sona to heal and sustain them. Don't know how that would have worked. Again, it would have been somewhat of a dangerous play for them to go to Baron, just because people would be reviving on the team that we're watching. But it would have been a huge advantage if they had managed to secure Baron there. Taking Dragon, just not as good. But then again, they are ahead, the enemy team. When you're ahead, you want to make plays that help you stay ahead. 25-16 in kills. They do have an edge in global gold. They are ahead 2 Dragons to 1, I believe. Overall, they do have 3 towers down as opposed to just 1. Although LELR may be able to get this tower. Don't know how much health the tower actually has. He might be able to get this one and pull it back to just 3-2. I guess we'll see and wait and find out. Anyway, the rest of the team's still farming. About the only thing that you can say really going for Developed's team right now is that Plasma Puffball and LELR have farmed so very, very well. They farmed really well. The downside is that Developed has not farmed well at all. You can see he does only have the 90 minion kills. Now, granted, he is Malphite. He's not going to be all that great at farming, but he does only have the 90 minion kills. And then, of course, Cole is just relying on gold per 5 or gold per 10 items, whatever you want to call them, for his health. In terms of his build, he's pretty far behind the Sona build. You can see he's 068, whereas Sona is 1215, so Sona is in a much stronger position, you'd really have to say, in terms of the two supports. Cole also a little out of position there in bottom lane. I think he's going to be able to make it back here into mid before anything too bad happens. The wards at Baron, though, very nice. You definitely want to have that warded, so doing a nice job. Remember, I don't think their team has a Clairvoyance. Yeah, Cole taking Exhaust over Clairvoyance. That's a defendable choice. Exhaust, definitely very good. Clairvoyance might be more useful. Anyway, Cole initiating on Sona. A little risky to do that, though. And over here, we have another fight. LELR is in trouble here. He's thrown down the wall, but being surrounded by the enemy team. They've managed to catch Trundle here, though. Going to burst down Trundle. That Trundle was in a bad position. Warwick initiating on somebody there. Malphite ult to try to break up the Warwick ult. Anyway, LELR is doing a lot of damage over here, but the rest of the fight not going so well. You can see Plasma Puffball has been taken down, and he's doing most of the damage on their team. There's a nice flash, but the enemy team's going to flash after it. That is the problem. The enemy team can't always just flash after you. Warwick, though, playing really aggressively. There's the stun with the Flash Frost into a Frostbite right here. Let's see if we're going to get that follow-up. Anyway, Warwick is just playing like he doesn't care what's going on, just running into towers, taking a lot of damage, but it looks like he's going to manage to escape and get out of that. And again, that was a fight that just didn't go well. 1 for 3 again, a whole lot of damage. And as soon as Plasma Puffball went down, it was really bad for the team. Now, let's see. The enemy team could make a play for Baron here right now if they wanted to. They have everyone alive except Trundle, but the problem is their jungler is the one who's dead, and when your jungler's down, you don't have that smite, and you can't do Baron safely. So they might make a play for this. I don't know. And yes, it looks like they are going to go for this. However, Seirun can possibly try to get in there and use his smite. Remember, they don't. So Trundle is over here, so that is a problem. They don't have smite. They're just going to hope that they can take down this Baron before Developed's team can get in there. There's the Anivia wall. Let's keep an eye on this Baron here. There's the Misfortune ult. Might steal it with the Misfortune ult. Baron is very low, and it's going to be smite stolen. Seirun with the smite stealing Baron from the other team. Oh my goodness, he is going to get taken down immediately with that Sona ult, but this is huge to steal that Baron. Going to help get them back into this match here. LELR still trying to run away. Is he going to be able to make it out? There's the slow coming in from Developed. Can Anivia get away from this? Warwick still chasing. Renekton still chasing. And there's a brilliant wall. Beautiful wall coming in. And look how much damage they're taking from tower shots. Sona going down. Now Warwick has been ignited. And Warwick going to go down as well. They are just turning this game around on its head. So wow, a huge turnaround in this game. 3 for 1 and Baron. And the only death being Seirun's as he went in there to smite that Baron. So huge advantage getting that Baron. So much gold and experience going in over to their team. So that is going to help them out enormously. Cole coming in, using that Shirelias. Looks like he's just going to tank this tower with his ultimate. Tarek, one of the best in the game at tanking towers. And yes, that is going to go down. So what a turnaround in this game. Just a great job. And then the enemy team getting way too aggressive. That Warwick player diving past towers. Sona going down as well. Now Plasma going after this tower. And Renekton really can't hold this by himself. He's going to need help if he's going to defend this. Let's see, a lot of damage coming in here. Cole taking a ton of damage, but it's okay if Cole takes damage. They need Plasma Puffball as the one the enemy team needs to focus. They didn't do that, and you see the results. Plasma gonna slip out of here, and Cole is in fact gonna survive. Yeah, you don't want to focus on the enemy team, on the tanky characters in the enemy team. You need to take down that Misfortune, who has no survivability, 30 magic resist, and has Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer and almost a Bloodthirster to go along with those Berserker Greaves. Oh, Seirun getting killed somewhere. I'm afraid I didn't see that on the map. I don't know where that was. I don't see where his body is, but getting picked off by the Orianna on the other team. Anyway, Cole does have an Oracle. Another reason why him surviving that last fight was even more key. The fact that he managed to keep that Oracle up and going. Smite what you want because a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Okay. Okay. Anyway, Anivia saying, time to work a new one. Does that mean Void Staff? Yes, Void Staff. Seems like a good one. Seems like a very good item choice to buy with the enemy team stacking magic resist. You can see Warwick does have that Spirit Massage, does have Merc Treads. Rest of the team doesn't have too much magic resist, though. Aside from Renekton with that Spirit Massage, they don't have a lot of magic resist. They have more armor than magic resist, I think. Anyway, our fight going over here down in the jungle. Warwick going to initiate on the Anivia player, but he's just going to burst down very fast. That was a little over aggressive on the part of that Warwick. He's had some great initiations, but he's played overly aggressive at times as well. That was clearly one of those cases. He just ulted into what was at best a 2v4 and what looked really more like a 1v4. Maybe he just wasn't able to get, maybe that was just a situation where he thought he couldn't escape, had no choice, no chance of making it out, and just thought, well, I'll just use my ult and do what I can. Anyway, 4 pushing bottom, Seirun over here trying to hold this middle lane. They have a pretty good chance of getting this bottom tower. They can fight 4v5, and there is a big wave of minions here. But look, here comes the enemy team. Got to pay attention to this. They're gonna, oh, nice Sona ult, catching most of the team into an Orianna ult, and that is going to do a lot of damage. But Plasma Puffball is going to survive, surprisingly. Thought he might go down there, and with that burst not taking down Plasma, that's bad trouble. Anyway, Renekton coming in here, initiating. There's the knockup, a nice initiation coming in and develop. That was really beautifully done, keeping Plasma Puffball alive. He's the key one they have to keep alive in these fights. Got the knockup with that unstoppable force, just popped him up in the air so that Plasma Puffball could just keep shooting at him the whole time. So that was really well done. Usually you think of Malphite's initiation as going into the middle of the enemy team and hitting like 4 or 5 people at once, but even in that situation, a 1v1, it was well used. This, though, this is not so good. Develop out of position, needs a wall to save him, and yes, going to get that wall. LALR doing a great job. We're going to flash over the wall, but there's the stun coming in from Cole. Tariq stun right there. And there's the Shirelias. Oh my goodness, this is just brilliant play here coming in from all sides. Now Warwick getting caught in front of the team, and Warwick is in a ton of trouble right now. Orianna ult coming in. I see Orianna ult doing a lot of damage. LALR just going to be egged though. Warwick's still alive. Look how much sustain he has. He has Sona heals and his lifesteal coming in from the Hungering Strikes. Anyway, can they get down Warwick? Yes, there they are. Someone used an Ignite, or it was Misfortune used, or Impure Shots, but something shut down his healing. This is just really nice team play coming in from everybody on the team. Everybody supporting one another, using their skills in conjunction. Just very nicely done. And it looks like as everybody breaks off the fight here, Seirun is going to solo that dragon. So that was some really nice play to see there. Very nicely done. Great teamwork. You can see Warwick did a nice job of tanking, but he just eventually was worn down by the rest of the team. He was out in front. The rest of the team was supporting him with Sona heals and with that Orianna ball, but in the end, just bursted down. And now look at this. I've spotted Trundle over here. Looks like Trundle's going to try to sneak this red. So they have vision. This is a great ward for whoever tossed this down. Now here comes Seirun, going to come in here, and let's see. Oh, there's the Anivia just doing so much damage. There's the wall, going to block off Trundle. No real escape at this point, and there we go. LALR, brilliant Anivia play, using that wall so well. The only downside is they do now have red buff on Anivia, which is not what they wanted. But look at this. Death Cap, Archangel Staff, Void Staff, Banshee's Veil, and a blue pot as well. So that is a very strong Anivia player right now. And with Trundle down, they're going to have the opportunity to look to push lanes again for the next 40 seconds or so. Going to have a chance maybe to push into the enemy base. It looks like Seirun is pushing this bottom lane up a little bit. They have good options in both mid or bottom lane if they want to look to push those lanes in pretty good shape. Or they could try to force a fight at the outer tower in top lane where it's not as strong. But looks like they're doing a bit of a split push here. You can see Gangplank down in bottom lane, Anivia in top lane, the other 3 in mid. But it looks like maybe now they're going to try to group up. They still have a window of maybe 10 to 15 seconds to try to make something happen before Trundle revives. And it looks like they're going to group up here in middle lane. Okay, anyway, it looks like they're going to push mid. They do not have Gangplank with them, but Warwick, if they can catch Warwick in a Anivia wall here, have a nice wall. Yes, going to get Warwick out away from the rest of his team. Warwick is taking a lot of damage from that Anivia Glacial Storm. Going to ult in there, but there's Cole right there. There's the exhaust coming in on Warwick, and there's a stun with Flash Frost. There they go, going to get that kill. Now here's the slow coming in on Orianna. He still has that Malphite ultimate available for use, and right now would be a nice time to use it. There it is. There's the knockup. Oh, another beautiful wall catching Orianna ult. There's the Gangplank cannon barrage, and they've now managed to go 2-0, and this base is really looking ripe for the taking here. They've got Tariq ult to help them take down this. Right now, if they can catch somebody else with a wall right there, and Sona going to try to ult, but it's not going to be enough. LALR is still alive. He was not taken down, so that's three kills for no deaths, and they have a very realistic chance of finishing off the base here. They're just managing to catch people in the jungle using those walls so effectively to wall people off. Anyway, they're going to back away, Renekton away from the towers. One tower already down. Now Renekton getting caught away from the rest of the team. And that looks like it's going to be it. Sona the only one alive. I do not think Sona can defend this base. Not against 5 members of the team. And this looks like they're going to take this right here. So very well played. A nice comeback. Had a feeling they were going to come back and make this a game again since I was sent the replay. But wonderful to see. You can see well played. Seirun saying well played. Really, really nice stuff. Alright, we're going to wrap this up and look at the stats and finish this up. Here are the final numbers. I think it's pretty clear that at the end, Plasma Puffball was the one carrying the game. He was just so strong, 16-3-7. You can see he had so many minion kills, all those items that dealt so much damage. The key to winning those fights at the end was keeping Plasma Puffball alive so he could just continue doing more and more damage to the enemy team. And at the end of the game, the team was able to do that quite effectively. I also thought that Elilar had some just brilliant Anivia walls. You could see he was also doing a lot of damage. He may not have gotten quite as many kills, but the walls were setting up a lot of the plays that they made. If you watch the DreamHack games, even though Anivia doesn't do quite as much damage as some of the other ability power casters, she's always going to be highly prized in a team environment just for the ability to wall off enemies and create situations that are lopsided in your favor. So Elilar made some mistakes at time. He got caught out of position at various points in time, but those walls just made such a huge difference at the end of the game. I thought that Developed and Cold didn't play their greatest games. I've seen them play much stronger games, but they were able to pull off very effective skill use at various points in time. You saw Developed get off some very nice Unstoppable Force ultimates with Malphite a couple of times. Now, at other times, he totally whiffed on his ultimates or used it very poorly, but in some of the key fights, he got off knockups that were just critical to saving other people, stunning the other team. Cole used his Shirelias quite well. He had some nice stuns, tanked some towers. Yes, he didn't play his greatest game in the world, but he was there in a lot of key situations as well. And then Seirun with the Gangplank steal of Baron. I mean, that was just epic. That was the move that flipped the game around. When the enemy team made that decision to go for Baron, I thought they waited just a little bit too long to do Baron. If they had started it 10 seconds earlier, they would have taken it, but their team delayed it just a little bit. They didn't have their jungler. Trundle wasn't with them, and so Seirun was able to get in there, get off the smite at just the right moment to take that Baron. It was hanging around with like 500 health, and you never can do that if the enemy team has their jungler with a smite there. So once again, guys, this is why you take smite on your jungler, so you can get in there and steal that Baron in the case and flip around entire games. I mean, this whole game turned around on a Baron steal. And that really, after that point, Develop's team just was in the lead, and they never lost the momentum after they got that Baron steal. So thanks for sending this game to me, Develop. It definitely was a game worthy of casting. I think it was very well played by both sides. I didn't think the enemy team played all that badly. They just made some mistakes in a couple key moments. I thought that Sona in particular played very well. I thought she had some great ultimates. 1-3-19, that looks like a good Sona game to me. Anyway, for everybody watching, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm not going to have the stream up tonight. I'm going to be out tonight for Thursday night, so I won't have it up, but hopefully this weekend I'll have some games in, and I'll let people know if the live stream's going to be up. So once again, thanks for watching, and until I see you next time, have a good week.